So Congress has admitted a couple of pieces on all of this. Congress, in their new budget for the American Intelligence Services, has directed that the Pentagon focus its UFO investigation on those objects that it can't identify. Here's Vice News. Congress admits UFOs are not man-made. We know that, right? We know that they are not man-made. And it says that the threat is increasing exponentially. That's the phrase I want you to pay attention to. The threats are increasing exponentially. What threats exactly? They've been here for arguably thousands of years. Now they're a threat. Suddenly they're a threat.
This is like the perfect way to propagandize, because it's like social media. We can verify facts on the ground now. We can verify, like, oh, we got reporters in Ukraine. We got reporters in Syria. Like, we know what's going on. Who's going to be verifying space?
We talked about Congress being briefed on UFOs next month, and whether or not what you're seeing in the air is some kind of technology from an adversary like China. I spoke with the former Director of Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, back in March on this topic. Here's what Ratcliffe told me. Listen to this. Have unidentified flying objects been seen?
Well, sure. We have lots of reports about what we call unidentified aerial phenomenon. There are a lot more sightings than have been made public. Sometimes we wonder whether or not our adversaries have technologies that are a little bit further down the road than we thought or that we realized.
Senator, is that what it is? What do you think this is, these phenomenon that you're seeing?
I don't know. We don't know, and that's the problem. And let me be clear, I haven't seen anything. I'm going off what our military men and their radars and their eyesight is telling them. And there's multiple highly trained, highly competent people. There's stuff flying in our airspace. We don't know what it is. We need to find out. That's my position on it.
Will you find out in June with the FBI report?
I think we'll find out more. I'm not sure they'll have all the answers. I hope they do. Maybe there's a simple explanation for all this. But I think at least we're starting to answer the question. For years, no one was even answering the question because of the stigma about little green men.
Yes, you're right. Thanks for bringing up the topic. UFOs sighted every day for the last 2 years, we're being told. Senator Marco Rubio, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll be right back.
I'm just surprised more people aren't pissed about this story. To me, this is incredibly, they're doing it right in front of us, right? What they're saying is, okay, we've known UFOs have been here for thousands of years. We, and of course, we have the videos, we have the evidence, we have the materials. The government's admitted to this. We know it, right? So now there's suddenly a major threat that we need to spend trillions of dollars and increase to a space force in outer space. Let's talk about UFOs, shall we? All right. So the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is out with a brand new logo, and it set the internet on fire overnight last night. It's raising a lot of questions. I'm going to put the logo up here on the screen, and let's keep it up here. You keep coming back to it, Philip, because tell me, do you notice anything odd about this new logo? This is a government logo. Do you notice anything odd about it at all? Anybody in the chat see anything odd about this logo? Closer view of what I want to point out, which is the UFO in the lower left-hand corner right there. There you go. It's interesting about this UFO design. It's the exact design that Bob Lazar worked on at Area 51 at S4. In this, I think it's called the Sports Design UFO. Bob Lazar, of course, is a physicist who worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico, and also he worked on the reverse engineering of these extraterrestrial craft, specifically at the site S4 in Area 51 near Groom Lake, at that operation location in the 1980s.
We can observe the effects of gravity, but we have no idea what it is. All we can do is observe it, and we can't make it. The only way you can make gravity is just put more mass together, and it's just a product of gravity. But if you can if you have a machine that makes gravity, you can pretty much do anything. You can affect time. You can have force fields. All that stuff that's in science fiction becomes reality if you have a machine that can make gravity. And what we worked on in the desert was a machine that makes gravity.
Is that mind-blowing? Like, wake up, people. Like, literally, he was working on this, and others have come forward who were actively there working on these and reverse engineering of these craft. Like, read Philip Corso's books. Read, look at the documentation that exists on this. That ship has sailed. The United States government has acknowledged this now. Like, that's old news. That is old news. And so the documents from these UFO reports largely redacted, blacked out. We couldn't see them when we got our hands on them, right? So again, look, this is the common shapes part of that report.
No, that tells us a lot.
Can you see that? The only thing that's not blacked out is literally the sentence that says common shapes in the middle of the screen. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's literally what it says. Common shapes is blacked out. The rest
and
of
the
it's
sentence, observers frequently described unidentified aerial phenomenon as blank.
Shaped objects.
UFO captured straight from the Dutch Ryanair. Check it out.
We are now going to take it frame by frame and then again in slow motion. Take a close look at this. You can clearly see the UFO. Follow me for more information. I have so much evidence that you have never seen before.
Hey guys, what we're looking at right now is SpaceX. They're about to shoot off the rocket, which they already did just a few days ago. And above the rocket, this live cam records something big and glowing. Look at that. They're panning out. They're looking at it. They're trying to figure out what it is. What is that glowing orb over the SpaceX rocket? Wait, he's focusing? He's focusing? Oh my God, look at that. What is that? That is just so cool, guys. This is over the SpaceX rocket that's supposed to one day carry humans all the way to Mars. Let's fast forward a little bit. He's coming. He's zooming back out to the rocket. He's zooming back out to the rocket. And there we are. But guys, what is that above the rocket? What did the cameraman notice that doesn't belong up there? Okay, let's zoom back in to the UFO. Here's the rocket itself. This is in Boca Chica, Texas, okay? And the rocket did successfully launch and fly upward. However, when they were trying to land, it did come down in an explosion. For a second, for a split second, there's something else glowing here. Right here too. Let's check that out. You see it? Could be just a bird. Could be just a bird. But this up here, that's not a bird, guys. What is that? That is just so crazy cool.
In 2001, May 9th, at the National Press Club, we held a briefing for the press. And I had 22 top secret military people there. And it was covered globally. But as it began to get covered by the news media in the United States, the intelligence community contacted those media outlets and told them to take it down. And they did.